Hi, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Wonderlands. Ladies and gentlemen, your boy just made it to Chaos level 20, baby. It's a long journey. That's my only gripe, is that it's annoying. Like, you're not having any resistance, but you still have to push through the entire encounter. The good news is the higher the Chaos level, the higher the crystals almost always are, and eventually you'll start getting the worst possible run is 3k, which is quite good. But alas, ladies and gentlemen, this video is going to be about everything that you are going to need to leverage in order to get to the Chaos Chambers. We already made a video about all the systems that we're going to have to understand and play with, but now what you actually need, especially having gotten to this place. Well, again, I'll always mention it because it's like the best answer to the problem, but there are save files in the game, so if you do want to just be off to the races running, so you don't have to push through every encounter, just to have access to Chaos level 20, it won't be your original save file, but you can download save files in the game. I'll make a video about that on the future, but yes, it's something that is quite nice, but I understand for people who don't want to do that, so let me talk to those people, essentially. Now, that was one of my people as well. I wanted to have an initial save file that was just me, all me, going through the paces, no help at all. Well, that's not true. Some of you guys came to my world and dropped me gear, but it wasn't like chaotic or some whatever the other one is, volatile. Yeah, let's get to it. Okay, so first things first is let's talk about class mods, because that's something that's really interesting, and I think messing people up in a good and bad way. And it could be different for everybody. So maybe right now I've only experienced the Graveborn and the spell shot. But I feel like that's a lot of people, frankly. But I don't think the class mods exponentially change, and in fact, I know they don't, because I've played with a lot of them. Frankly, I have a lot of them. But if I can make this simple, focus on the class mods that give you the most damage amplification, because that is the thing that matters. Now, there is an alternative to this. There is enchantments, which are very good, and that can kind of be your gateway to power, kinda. But there still is this weird thing with class mods. So you guys can see that this one, the one to the right, is actually pretty good. Like this one actually, whenever you do a poison status effect, and whenever that deals damage to an enemy, it is going to have a 15% chance to explode in poison damage. There is no cap on this, so it seems like if you just have a bunch of, and also it's AoE splash, so you could just detonate this right in a row and be like bang, 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 and then just see your enemy pop and it would add up to like a couple thousand damage or something. Given what this scales off of, I don't know. Probably ability damage, status damage, stuff like that. So you have enchantments that buff that, then that will be increased. But I digress. That's just like a straight up damage amplifying ability, okay? And that's basically what you're looking out for. This one isn't really that. All companion damage is converted into dark magic damage. Enemies damaged by companions take 20 more increased damage from dark magic. The reason why this isn't so good is because if we look at our weapons such as this, thrown weapons become a gun with wings, and they shoots enemy and then explodes. And then we have another weapon that's this, where when you throw your weapon, it becomes a pixie that does damage and etc. That all that class mod will do is convert my damage type over. It doesn't add damage on top. It's not like this fire pixie is gonna now start to do dark magic and fire. No, it completely overwrites everything. With exception to, I think you can still have certain skill activations where if you have it on like a fire, like it's like all of your damage from your companions will now deal fire damage. I do think there's a skill in my Grave Ward's thing that basically says whenever my companions can do dark magic damage on kill skill. Or something like that, which that does count in a weird way. So just let you know about that. But anyways, the things that you do want to look out for is anything that increases your damage on a base. So sometimes they're like this, which is reduces your crit chance, but increases your crit damage by 50%. Pretty huge. There's also stuff like this. Increases your fire damage by 10%, can stack up to 10 times. Huge. But it's only for each unique enemy hit, and it's only for a brief amount of time. Now this is decent if you have, like, say for me, I literally have this fire spell that like can allow me to do a shit ton of fire dots to a huge area of people, because my hydras will just start shooting everybody, so I gain stacks almost instantly. But even still, in boss fights, you only have like 1 or 2 unique people to fight. Sometimes boss fights summon a bunch of ads, but oftentimes no, and you also want to keep those ads up so that if you ever do go down, you can shoot those ads, so it doesn't really work in that sequence either. Now, there's stuff like this, which again, I always point to this one makes me mad, but it says gain 50% critical chance, dark magic efficiency, and dark magic damage. 50% dark magic damage, are you kidding me? Hell yes. As well as critical chance? Yes. While standing still. that to me is just annoying. Like super annoying. No one stands still in the game. That's what a horrible way to play the game as well. That's just such a terrible way to play it. Just standing still and like, what the hell? Anyways, there's such cool movement in the game too. Then there's stuff like this, which again is more like utility based. It will just move your hydras closer to you. Kind of good if you have like a really heavy hitting hydra that you can only summon once. You'll get a better one down the line, I promise you. So that one feels like it'll age out of the meta. Then there's one like this, which is utility based, so you can get experience faster if that's it. But the one that I've shockingly found, I think this is kind of sad to some extent, but it's this. The best class mod that I found is just instead of saying, like, for instance, instead of saying, hey, minus 50% critical chance, it just says, what if I gave you two extra perks that could be amazing. They could be critical damage, they could be critical chance, they could be spell damage, they could be melee damage, they could be whatever. And yeah, it's just more. And I'm like, yes. Opposed to like, so right here, it's crazy to think about it. We're getting like 30% gun damage and 30% ability damage. And we have no loss. With the other one, we're getting critical damage and critical chance. So if those last two skill points were critical damage and critical rate, then it would just be a buff without any negative, and I would also have all the other perks in my skill tree. So yeah, it's weird that this one is kind of, for at least for me, being the best. Now, there's an argument for maybe this critical damage chance is applying to everything, but yeah, you could also, there's also just flat critical chance increases. Anyways, I find this one to be just generally good. Unfortunately, it's buffing the hell out of the Spore Warden, which I'm not playing, but anyway, but the companion damage, the critical ability chance, the critical melee chance, all that's just too good to pass up, you know? What are we doing? So that is one way that you can get a hefty amount of power, but it is not the way to get power. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the one thing that I did leave you astray on, forgive me, I'm only human, and I was deep in game, and also I'm surprised that they made it this way because it kind of makes it a little bit messy. But also kind of more options. I could see what they were trying to aim for, but enchantments are your main source of power. This makes up a lot of your fun in terms of having multiple different options to crack the egg. But then if you want to get true power, you can specialize, but you'll be a little bit more limited and be a little bit more disappointed when you see a loot that doesn't have the element that you apply or amplify and stuff like that. But the main thing I led you astray on, which I'm sorry about, is that you cannot double down on elements. You don't know how painful this was for me to learn. I was specifically buffing cryo and I was buffing a lot of dark magic. And then I found out that they don't stack. And I was like, well, what the fuck? What is that? But there are things that are very, very, very adjacent to what you're aiming for. Sometimes things work out beautifully like this. This is a companion, I think. It says spawns a pixie companion. If this doesn't scale off companion damage, what the absolute fuck? Anyways, after reloading, gain 50% companion critical hit chance and companion regeneration rate for 8 seconds. All that sounds fantastic. The regeneration rate kind of meh because my companions don't have a health pool besides my Hydra, or my Lich, which is actually kind of helpful because he's reducing damage that I take. But I digress. Guns with legs, I don't know what counts as companion. I'm just kind of using both and yes. And yes. So one of the things that I would highly advise you guys get around to doing is this. So you guys accumulate whatever is the thing that you're doing. If you're playing a melee build, if you're playing a action ability build, whatever it is, after casting a spell, your gun damage and your melee damage or whatever, a 30% critical chance for a short duration. So this is going to increase my gun's critical chance and increase my melee's critical chance, which are mainly there for my gun. And I'm lost between whether this counts as gun damage, pixie damage, whatever. So this actually might be a loss for me depending on what it be, but I also like to shoot a little bit, so it's not the worst, even if it is a kind of a miss. But then there's stuff like this, which synergize just too well. It's a specific spell for the spell shot, but it says after casting a spell, increases gun damage by 20% and fire rate by 30 for a short time. But when I activate this, that's like, this is good on anybody. I could throw this on anybody because everyone has a spell. So you cast a spell, and then you can just start laying into people with like a ton of fire rate, and this thing already buffs gun damage by a ton. So this just perfectly synergized. I don't know how I could get a better version of this, but I think if I got a better indirect damage dealt, 185, I got something else like dark magic, that'd be better. But then we got ones like this. On spell cast increases ability damage. I do believe my dark hydras count as ability damage, so that's that's actually not the worst. And also I think they count as companion damage, which is also why I think they melt damn near everything. So yeah, and of course my melee, I have on-spell cast increases gun damage. Is this perfect? Not even a little bit. Unfortunately, no. You should try to mainline something, especially if you're playing the Graveborn. The Graveborn can basically tack on dark magic damage onto spells, so you're always going to do dark magic damage, you're going to heal. So what that means is if you're doing a lot of cryo damage, like say again, one of the builds that was carrying me for a long time coming was this right here. Basically, I can just like throw like 5 little spike balls in someone's head and they just explode. And they do huge damage. Now, each one of those 5 pellets had a chance of detonating with dark magic and healing me. But because these were doing such a high amount of damage, and I had a special enchantment that increased on spell cast, increases your cryo damage, so these were just getting even better. So I basically lay a bunch of cryo damage in there, they would hit really hard, and then a percentage of that high base damage was converted and hit twice with dark magic damage. Now, if I would have hit with a spell that didn't hit hard, like maybe a fire spell that didn't have any amplification of fire spells, then my dark magic percentage would be just so low because my base damage was so low anyway, because it's not taking from a bigger pool, you know what I mean? So you do want to hit with a bigger bang, essentially, which is interesting. But it also means that you need to get the enchantment that increases specifically on at least your one spell, that utility factor, that like, hey, on spell cast, you get the spell that you're doing makes it better, whether it's cryo damage on a cryo spell or a fire spell on or a fire enhancement on a fire spell, that kind of thing. Largely, that's your key to power, and mine isn't even perfect, but it's getting by. Also, this is single-handedly the most like bullshit thing I've gotten. It's this. I can't even believe it. But your dark magic damage, boom, 34. It's also chaotic, madness. Graveborn power, 30%. Madness. Dark magic efficiency, gun handling, that's bad. But what this does to me is madness. When a Fate Maker or a companion kills an enemy, just get a kill, okay? I'm not sure if my kill skill can detonate that. I don't know if that is awesome. But anyways, companion damage is increased by 20% for 15 seconds. It can stack 5 times. What? This is a stupid perk. It's like just this ridiculous companion buffing damage thing, and this is why my Hydras, even at AR 20, feel like they're the same OP thing I got at AR 15, or when I got to level 15, they were still melting things. But yes, that is your key to power. That is how you can do that. And again, I would highly advise, and this is something that I only recently started doing. I did this literally just now, and it's this. I recently started looking into where, like for a bunch of save files to see if I could get one like pixie scaling or guns with wings scaling weapon, because I don't know what counts for what. It's really annoying. I've heard from some people that pixies counts as companion damage, but doesn't count for faithful thralls. I've heard some people say no, guns with legs or guns with wings counts as companion damage and pixies doesn't. So I keep hearing the reverse thing. I've tried to test it and I think it's just broken because I can barely notice. Anyways, I did get this one. As soon as I got to AR 20 or to Chaos level 20, I went out and looked for a save file to see if I could get a good guns with like a companion weapon essentially, and this one was the only one I could really find, but it also happened to be volatile, which is a little bit much. It's a little excessive. But even if I don't use this, and I use these ones, which is the ones I've always had, and frankly, even if I just use this one, which is not even chaotic, this one holds me real good, real tight, real close. Because I'm just buffing the what do you call it, dark magic damage on a base with a lot of my abilities. So yes, but ladies and gentlemen, let us jump only for a little bit. I'm not sure if I'll show you guys the entire run, but let's go into like the catacombs into level 20. Now, again, my gear is not perfect, but you don't need a lot of perfection. You just need to have gear that when you do the thing that you do, for me it's on spellcast, you get a decent amount of whatever it is, whether that's gun critical chance, gun damage, after a short time you do XYZ, that kind of stuff. We're just gonna chuck this, put down these, and we're gonna start shooting. Now mind you, this weapon is not chaos level increased, but it's still melting things. Everything's still getting blitzkrieged, yeah. So now, oh, there's that little fireball that we need. Go, 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 go. Chuck more of these. We're gonna activate our thing. So now our Hydras are doing more damage. Everything's getting absolutely melted. We're also getting a little movement buff. Love it. We're gonna make sure these are up in the air still, our hydras. Or our guns with legs, because again, I don't know which one scales off of companion damage. The fact that I'm getting like what is functioning like 100 bonus companion damage with that one necklace is madness. And I'm very grateful for having that drop. Okay, mate, most of the time as with this companion build, you don't even know what's dying or why it's dying. It's just doing that. Also, again, you always want to break these into chaos chambers, those little diamond things. Something I still don't see people really talk about, and I think it's like an absolute must. Also, this is the big boy weapon that I got, this one. Yeah, this weapon just chunks through things. It's a little bit excessive, if I don't say so myself. He's dead, yeah. Also, this just does a good bit of damage on a base, because it shoots so many projectiles too. But yeah, that enemy was like a bad, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Kill this thing, kill it. Damn it, I didn't know. Go, go, go. But yeah, if I can get a dark magic weapon, because I'm buffing dark magic like you would not believe. So if I get a dark magic weapon, I'll be pretty happy. Especially if it's like shotgun, like a volatile dark magic weapon, dude. Okay, so let's increase this to elite and see if we can manage. Yep, keep trying to run a little bit. It's fine. Let's do blood damage. I feel like that one's a little bit better. Oh, you're healing. Neat. New other thing. Also, finish an enemy with melee damage. Isn't that the best? So good. So I don't know if damage is instant. I'm hoping it is, but it might not be. And again, I would like to reiterate that this spell that this gun that I have is not like, it's not chaotic. It's only got an okay modification on it. It's that I'm buffing a lot of dark magic damage without having a lot of dark magic weapons or spells, which is a little annoying, but is what it is. Also, yes, I don't have a melee thing because what do you want from me? But no, we were able to kill everything in the elite form. Let's keep doing it. Let's keep doing it. We might have been able to take one hefty curse, but again, we already end this even without trying to make it the hardest thing on the planet with a ton. So I don't know if we need more, but we'll try. And we replace these in clever spots. Sometimes it's better to actually like hit the thing, but it's also good that you can specifically aim and melt bosses. Also, again, every enemy melts, especially with this stupid ward up. By the way, I don't need the ward, at least I don't think. You just want to see if we need the ward. Maybe we need the ward. Maybe I'm insane. Let's see. Let's go with fireball meta. Let's see. Maybe I need the ward. Maybe y'all right. Maybe y'all right. An elite enemy. Now he's dead. He dead. Could still need the ward, but let's check. Okay, now I got lit up by a dot. Yeah, so when you're this high up, the one thing that will kill you is barrels. So be careful. Barrels are absolutely the death sentence. Hundo P. Okay, so he'll die. Boom. Yeah, so it's definitely slower, but it's not like, again, well, it's also because Graveborns are just nuts when it comes to life heal, or just healing. Let us see. Where are you? Oh, look at you. Look terrifying. No, it's okay damage. We are using the one decent shotgun. Otherwise, we'd be here for a hot minute. But I don't think we need the one thing. Oh, yeah, the dot damage, man, is... Uh-oh. The dot damage is actually a problem. A pretty big problem. Oh, God. Thank God. Yikes. It's not needed. But it definitely helped. He died. Oh, another elite badass melted. Get away from me. Gimme, gimme. Where is the thing? If I could get a little more like cooldown, double cast of this one thing, that'd be perfect. Because that's the only thing I feel like I'm not 100% uptime situation happening. Easy peasy. Yeah, also the only thing I will say that I do find, like, on some videos I see people just absolutely like obliterate a boss and you're like, what the fuck are they eating? Jesus. Also, I probably shouldn't be making every room elite like this. I probably should have gotten a much better curse and then, like a hard curse, and then made everything elite, because right now the timesing of your crystals is not really, I'm not timesing it by anything. Also, ooh, look at you. And so you actually have a, you're an, well, you were a one enemy, but not anymore. Anyways, you were a school enemy, but let's see how quickly we melt you. You level something. Yeah, so this is where my build, like I got a lot of security with my build. Don't go down much, but I do see some people just out here do billions of damage with one hit. But also, I don't have a weapon that scales off of dark magic. This is not like volatile or even chaotic. This weapon I'm using right now. But it's still the one that does the decent damage because I am built for a little bit of dark magic. Actually, not true. I'm built for a lot of dark magic. I got Graveborn and dark magic, which is doubling down quite a lot. We'll just do this. Ooh, a little too close. We kill ourselves. But again, our little hydras are doing so much. And we're kind of just hanging out. Living a good life. And enemy's gonna die. And this whole time, well, give me a sec. There we go. The whole time I said, well, I wasn't even close to death, which was true. So you got a lot of security, but maybe not as much instant kill damage. But with that being said, though, me playing co-op, it ain't exactly bad. So what you got? Oh, plenty of legendaries. Plenty of legendaries. What is that? Oh, it's one of the ward ones. It's not bad. It's just not great. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that was a little long-winded, but okay. Essentially, all that your power source is essentially trying to get as much static damage as you possibly can, and hopefully your skill tree has you living in some way. I think that's something that I'm a little bit blissfully ignorant about. But basically, because I have my faithful thralls that are always doing dark magic damage, because I basically have a huge amount of investment in like hitting twice, and I think that's the interesting debate with some of these things. Like, so for instance, do you want to have more than a couple points into this? Because you have dark magic damage on spellcast. Cool, so an 8% chance to do bonus dark magic damage on spellcast. I think these is not even a chance, it just does that, which is nice. So you're always healing from any spellcast. Now, do you want to do more dark magic damage? Okay, well, I think you have to determine what you're doing. Like, is your main damage source dark magic? Then maybe. Like, is your pixie, your guns with wings, is that also dark magic? Then maybe. But then there's stuff like this, which to me I overlooked at one point, but it basically doubles your spell damage. Your spell damage hits twice and or has a 20% chance to detonate. And I do believe my faithful thralls, my little tiny like hydras that are spawning from my fire magic, they can detonate this, and it's basically hitting twice with half the damage, sure, but it's still just consistently detonating. And if you have like hydras that are constantly like spewing out fire, then you'll see pop, 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 pop. And that can actually be quite good. I still I don't know 100% if that is going to be the play, or if it's something like this that I should invest in. I don't know. I think I like the dark magic amplifications. I don't know. But regardless, I haven't ever died. So yeah, it's partially nice. This has been Tiny Tina's Wonderland, a game that I'm still to this day just absolutely enjoying. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for your time. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and goodbye.